So, as we have Halloween approaching, just made me think of a few things about keeping your circle small. One might ask, how the hell does that relate to Halloween? Well, I'll just say that when we are evolving more, when we are stepping to our purpose, healing, becoming our best version, just working on improving our life in general, healing from all the BS and all the programming and everything, and with the veil being thin and the frequency rising on the planet, okay, you're seeing a wider perspective of reality. So sometimes when that happens, we'll see that a lot of people don't have our best interest. A lot of people are what I would say on demon time. And, we all have our own darkness within us. That's why shadow work is important to do. You want to embrace your light and your darkness, right? So too much light can blind you. And a lot of people want to surpass the darkness to go right into the light, but it doesn't really work like that, does it? You'll start to see that very quickly. Because all of your shadow, you can't escape your shadow. You have to learn to make friends with your shadow. You have to learn to sit with your shadow, do the shadow work, sit with what's uncomfortable, with the unconscious beliefs, traumas, unprocessed emotions. We can even go to past life karma, right? That is influencing your life, that kind of subconsciously runs your life, your fears, insecurities, all that, right? So as you're starting to face these things, as your consciousness is expanding, as your frequency is raising, you're going to have awareness to a lot more. And sometimes it takes us to polarize, or to have the polarizing energies, like we were maybe way on the dark side before. Like for me, for example, I was in my addiction mode. I was on demon time before too. And as I started to heal and do better for myself, I started to see around me that man, I've been chilling with the darkness for a little too long. I was surrounded by, say, demons or entities or whatever. What do you think addiction is? Something's taken over you, right? Anyway, but the people I was surrounded by were like no good. Majority of them. So I've had to cut off literally almost all the people that I had known my whole life in some form. Or some of them was just, they weren't necessarily bad, but we're just going different directions, right? And then I saw that some people didn't want to see me succeed, didn't want me to do better. They were trying to bring me back down to an old place I don't want to go. Everyone wants to be your friend when you're in demon time, when you're party girl, because misery loves company and darkness loves company, right? And then when you try to rise above or do better, it triggers people to face their own shadow, or it triggers people to compare themselves. And it ain't about comparing. This isn't like I think I'm better than anybody. It was just I wanted better for myself, and I was miserable. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of riding with darkness for so long, But now I don't avoid my darkness. I embrace it. I still have a lot within me, but I balance my darkness and my light, even as I'm healing, and I accept myself for all that I am. I have to keep my circle small. Even within the past 6 months, a year, I've let go of even more people. I thought there were some people that were there for me, but as I was doing better, stepping more in my purpose, stepping more into light and helping people, bringing light to people's lives, or trying to, right? Or just trying to inspire people in general through the own darkness I've experienced myself. We're talking about addictions, or grief and trauma from my mom and life, talk about mental health issues, toxic relationships, all that, and a lot of inner child stuff too. A lot of darkness before I was able to find light. And I had to become an alchemist, right? But there's a lot of snakes along the path. I guess I could say illusions are being shattered. I thought people were a certain way, but they weren't. Now that my consciousness is expanding, I'm seeing different sides of people that I didn't see before. A lot of people are exposing themselves, right? Because when you're shining more, light exposes darkness, right? So it's not a bad thing. Like, I'll expose my own darkness too. I don't care. I'll talk about that all day. But just know that sometimes it might take you being alone by yourself. And it's okay. You might feel lonely at times, but it's actually, I call it solitude now. Sometimes I prefer just to be by myself than in bad company or people that trying to bring me down, either don't respect boundaries or that have bad intentions. And I'm an empath, I'm an intuitive. I can sense that from miles away, you know? And that's the thing, as the frequency is rising on the planet, your awareness is expanding. You might be more intuitive. You might have visions of things, you might hear things, feel things, or just know things, right? All the clairs, clairsentient, right? Clairvoyance, all those, clairaudient. And your gifts are going to start to be more intensified, right? Are going to tap in more into those, because when you're releasing what doesn't serve, you're kind of like ascending, right? You're raising your frequency, your vibration, right? And you're expanding your consciousness, so you have a wider perspective of reality. So you're going to see things that are in alignment with where your life wants to go. You're going to see things for what they truly are, where you didn't see it before. So that's all part of the process. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to feel like your whole life's falling apart. It's okay. You might be having dark night of the soul. I had a time where I lost my job. I almost was homeless. Of course, I was going through addiction at the same time when I had that. People, relationships, right? That was all part of it. Everything had to fall apart so the new me could come together. All the old stuff that wasn't resonating with me had to fall apart. That required me to be alone for a while, and to learn to sit with myself, to sit with my emotions, sit with my shadow self, my darkness, to sit with my traumas, to sit with my uncomfortable emotions. It required me being uncomfortable, even just being used to being alone, you know, and being more content with myself and keeping my circle small in general. And I continue to do that. And, you know, I don't care if I had known somebody for a long time. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care who it is. If there's certain people that just, my intuition is telling me stay away from them. And you gotta trust that sometimes, you know. Sometimes we don't trust our gut, or sometimes we don't have a good connection with our intuition because it's led us wrong in the past, or we have a lot of illusions in front of us. So a lot of it just sorting through the illusions, what resonates with me on a soul level and what doesn't, and being willing to let go, and not being resistant to the changes that need to happen for us to evolve more, become a best version. It's all about balancing your darkness and your light. But it's not easy, it's not always comfortable. And like I always say, if it's not uncomfortable, you're not evolving. The life you want is outside of your comfort zone. It's past your shadow. It's not past your shadow, it's by integrating your shadow, your dark and your light. So that's just a random rant. But I think a lot of people are seeing that people's masks are coming off, the illusions are being crushed, right? And a lot more is going to come to you intuitively. So follow the intuition and don't be afraid to release what's no longer needed, especially people. It's okay to keep your circle small. It's okay to be alone, you know. Sometimes that's what's needed, so you can really tap into yourself and find out what you do and what you don't want. A lot of these people in our lives are just distractions that are, Ralph Smart always says, if they're not helping me evolve, they're a distraction. And majority of the people are. Just say that. Majority of things in your life are trying to throw you off your path. They're going to try to tempt you with things when you're trying to be better or do better. And you just got to stay on your path, remember your why, and remember where it leads you. Play back that tape of like where this goes when I engage in this behavior with these people. So good luck. And it's okay to go backwards. It's all part of a kind of like a dance, right? You go backwards, you go forwards, you learn, you evolve. This didn't work, this did. And just keep making different choices that are more aligned with your highest self.